Good morning, good afternoon, and good day overall to everyone. I am your host, USS Talos, or Lord Talos, or Lord Mobius, or Talos Mobius, however you may know me, it doesn't really matter. Welcome to the update of the week for the game Mobile Suit Gundam Ball Operation 2. We're not going to be outright covering the update, but rather the announcement for the update for the week of the 28th of the month of September of 2023. The update covers the GBO2 Autumn Festival, as you see right behind me. Now, with this update, we're going to be getting a new mobile suit, the full armor Double Zeta Gundam from Mobile Suit Gundam Double Zeta, a 700 4-star support that can go both on ground and space. We're going to cover that in depth shortly. A new map will be released called the Mass Driver Facility, which is one of the larger maps that we have had in a while. As you can see, this map comes with 6 spawn points on top of the bases, and it has large open areas where combat can, ensue. And it's large enough where larger mobile suits will not easily get stuck in those areas. Every opening is large enough where you can fit through, but obviously the larger mobile suits like the Nightingale and the Zeku Zwei will probably have struggles going through. There are even aquatic waterways that you can pass through. And those waterways are going to be very useful for aquatic mobile suits, no matter the cost. Or if for a console you have it available, the aquatic compatibility part. Those parts will come in handy, and so will aquatic mobile suits in this map. To move on forward, we're going to talk outright for the info data that we got outright here. Looking through the data, or rather through the newsletter that our developers have put out. First of all, it would appear that we're getting a new head director. Welcome, Mr. Nakagawa. As you can see here, I'm gonna leave it here for a bit, but the developer Ota has left their final message for us to read. Moving on forward, we're gonna read that the survey was actually successful. There was a survey in the Japanese media about how people were satisfied with the Gundam Ball operations too. We're gonna see the results in the future. New mobile suit, full armor Gundam Double Zeta, or full armor Double Zeta Gundam, whichever you prefer. Both are right. As we can see, it's a 700 cost support that can go both on ground and space. We're not going to be watching this preview, as we're going to be watching something that will go a lot more in depth momentarily. Allow us to do so right now. As you can see, the full armor Double Zeta Gundam already appears to be very promising, as not only does it come with a large array of weapons, and it seems a versatility for a support, being able to utilize both its long range hyper beam saber, but a large array of weapons, both suppressive, heavy stagger, and insta-stun. But it also comes with a set of new skills and new levels of skills, as you've probably already have noticed. First of all, what we're going to talk about is the linked fire skill. What it says here is pressing the touchpad button or the special button for PC players will change how the performance of some of the ranged weapons compatible with the skill behave. Normally, for an example, with a head high mega cannon, it fires a continuous beam, an irradiation beam, or also known as Zerobi, that stuns the enemy in place and does constant damage and pierces. When linked fire is activated, it operates along with the double beam cannons, which once you land the impact, not only does it cause a heavy stagger in a single shot, it does a decent chunk of damage. You can charge it, or rather, you have to charge it to shoot it, but you can move while charging it. But also, there is an explosion similarly to probably the beam magnum of the unicorn and the phoenix. The skill has a time limit and it can only be activated once per sortie, therefore once per your mobile suit's life. Another new skill is the biosensor J ability boost, referring clearly to Judo Asta. When your health drops below 50%, this biosensor activates, increasing the melee performance and maneuverability. That could mean that it may even give the full armor double zero dodge roll, but we don't know that for sure yet. Maybe it might even give a resist move. That's for us to find out when the mobile suit releases. It increases the melee priority by a small amount, meaning that by a level. And although it says here that damage to the mobile suit's health is reduced during a combat attack, meaning during a melee attack, what it actually means is that you take reduced damage every time you perform melee strikes. On top of that, it grants the skills maneuver, armor, and offense system, and it gives a higher level of damage control, meaning that this skill is going to be better than most out there. Another thing that was mentioned during the video is that it will give the anti-beam coating level 2, meaning that it receives the same skill that the Delta Gundam has, which makes it so that instant beam weapons will not stun you easily, meaning that you have to actually suppress the unit or heavy stagger it with beam weapons to be able to stun it. But the level 2 variant does not strip you of all of your beam resistances, but rather about 50% of it, meaning that you still can have 25 beam resistance if you lost, let's just say, your maxed out 50 beam resistance. Very useful and overall a step above what the Delta Gundam has for sure. And with the large health pool of the full armor double zeta that we'll see in this video, I should have preloaded it for us to be able to watch it without it having to buffer. Forgive me for that. But the website videos take a while to buffer. Let me mute this as well. This is to talk about how the linked fire works. But it's not so much to show the linked fire, but also we get to see that the health of the full armor double zeta is at 25,000. That is a large amount of health for a unit that otherwise has a very high beam reduction. It's gonna make it a challenger for sure at its cost. As we can see, the high mega cannon on the head does an extreme amount of damage even on a Cubalay, which has pretty decent resistances, but it being a general makes it take a lot more damage. As you've noticed though, when the linked fire activates on top of the high mega cannon, you can charge the double beam cannons on the backpack. When those fire, it becomes instantly, and as you can see on the right, there is also a very short timer of how long you can keep it active. The shot becomes a heavy stagger, does a good chunk of damage, and it can be fired again in a quick succession. A very powerful skill indeed. Moving down, we see more about the mass driver facility that I've shown you through the quick snips and pictures. It is based off the California base from the Blue Destiny games, or rather, Mobile Suit Gundam side story, The Blue Destiny. We have a quick talk about how the map works. I can leave this here temporarily for you to read it if you'd like to. But there is not much more than what we already said. Moving further down, the announcement of GBO2 Autumn Festival, which is going to be a weekly 10 consecutive supply drops, up to 20 drops, so for 2 weeks, and limited missions for all pilots, meaning that we might get a new mobile suit. There have been a few leaks around, but it's not up to me to cover them. So please wait until more information has been announced on the 28th. Now, this is not the only thing that we're going to be covering. Instead, we're also going to be covering the Autumn Festival for the PC version of GBO2. Now, GBO2 on PC is 2 months back. So, while we're getting the Autumn Festival right now, the Autumn Festival that the PC is getting is the same that they got for that we got on PS4 and PS5. I say we because I play mostly on console. We got it for the anniversary. So imagine this is the same as the anniversary event with minor changes. As you can see already, new battle simulations, which will feature the Hainu as well, but right now the Hainu and the Nightingale will be appearing on the 28th and then on the 5th of September and October. As you can see, they are both 700 4-stars. The Nightingale is a raid 700 and the Hainu is a general 700. These are their schedules right here. I will highlight them. New battle simulators, 3 tokens per simulation, and additional rewards. Up to 80 free supply drops. The way that those work is that you're going to be getting 1 every week plus 1 every day for GBO days. So instead of getting single rolls for that, you're getting 10 rolls. So a total of 80 rolls with 16 of them being guaranteed 2 stars or above. These are the dates once again. 5 special step up supply drops, which are going to be unique supply drops that will be released during the autumn festival. This is the high new guaranteed roll, which will also give you the high news new hyper bazooka and its new anti-ballistic armor. The news hyper bazooka allows you to perform a flip attack whenever you press the touch button, making it an activated almost like a skill, which works similarly to the active pairs of the Sinanju Stein. The new anti-ballistic armor custom part will allow you to increase your maximum ballistic resistance, but only one of these parts can be added at a time. It also increases your ballistic resistance, I think, based per level. I do not remember. No, it's actually outright boosting the ballistic resistance by 12 and increasing the maximum ballistic resistance by 20. meaning that you can have up to 70 ballistic resistance. It also reduces ballistic damage when your mobile suit is down or stunned or staggered. So if you're on one knee or you've fallen back because you've been stunned, you take reduced damage from ballistic weapons. Then we have a 72-hour limited step-up supply drop with the mobile suits that are relatively difficult to acquire. So if you want any of these mobile suits, try your luck here instead. Then we have the Autumn Festival container. Now, I've heard a lot of complaints talking about how why are they not giving out the same rewards that were given during the anniversary event? And the reason why is that they gave those rewards for people that have been playing for a long while to benefit veterans. The thing is that you cannot be really a veteran unless you're a person moving from console to PC. The reason why I'm saying that is that you never will have the time that you had on console. Therefore, they would not be giving out the extra rewards. Why, you may ask, is because there are people that started playing recently on console during the anniversary that could not get those same rewards because they didn't have the time that veterans had. Therefore, because people cannot have the 100, 300, 500, and I think 7 or 600, maybe 900, I don't remember, days on GBO, they're not willing to give out the rewards that they gave out for console. That's why the rewards are lesser. I'm not saying that now it's a necessarily good thing, but I can understand it from the perspective of someone that has been playing for a while, why it would be frustrating for us to have to meet a set criteria to get the rewards and PC players to not have to meet any criteria at all. And now people say that they should give those rewards because of all of the hardships that PC had gone through, but also the PS4 and later PS5 versions went through plenty of hardships. True, we didn't have the cheaters to that extent, but there were a lot of issues when the game was released as well. As you can see, and the reason I'm going through it so slowly so that you can see what rewards you get. Enhancements, which I don't know if people really are that interested in anything minus the 500,000 DP and the mechanical tickets, but modification kits are very useful. Finally, new limited missions are here for the Dom Heavy Arm type, which is a very powerful support right now. A Zaku Head Zeta Gundam. It's pretty iconic if you ask me. The Jigen D type and the Pell Rider Dullahan. If you missed out any of those mobile suits or you've never acquired them through recycle tickets, if they were ever added to the recycle ticket store, go ahead and run through these events and you can acquire them pretty easily. I'm gonna skip through these again. You can pause at any time during the video and read through what you can acquire from these events. The video is already running along, so I don't want to take more of your time. Finally, there is a limited time festival sale underway, which all DP, exchange, and recycle counter items are 30% off. There's a new value pack, which will give you 60 tokens. Promotion for new and returning soldiers. This is more for new soldiers rather than returning, because I don't know if people have been playing for have not been playing for more than 45 days, but you never know. For those that are eligible to those rewards, you're going to receive a message in the log box when logging in. There's going to be a new opening intro for the Hainu and the Nightingale and new key visuals. All in all, it's a great week coming for both console and PC. I look forward to see you all in the battlefield. And from me, well, have a great day.